right? There's no political agenda here. There's nothing political correct here, because what they're doing to our children is not correct.
Hi.
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
The adults that get paid as public servants, who took an oath, who said, I will make sure your babies are educated, I will make sure your kids are nurtured in the classrooms. That's what they said on paper. But in real time, our babies are coming home crying. Our babies are looking to us as their parents to make sure they are protected. And the problem is, the law says we must send them. Right? The Constitution says our children are entitled to a free and appropriate education. But nothing in it that says that you have the right to put your hands on my babies. Nothing says you have the right to drag my babies, to sexually assault them, to deny them a quality education.
Good morning and welcome to Article 8 with Gwen Samuel, and I am your host, Gwen Samuel. I am a mom on a mission to ensure that every child in the state of Connecticut, regardless of their zip code, their income level, or the color of their skin, have access to great educational opportunities. And today we are also excited because the Connecticut Parent Union launches its new initiative, School Board Watch. Because all politics is local. All politics is local. Make no mistake about that. And we want to make sure that these local school boards are doing what is in the best interest of children and ensuring that our State Board of Education, which has the ultimate authority over every student within the state of Connecticut, is handling their business. And I am so excited as we talk about school boards to talk about y'all. Y'all hear me? Listen carefully. We have moms in the house from Bridgeport handling their business. They said we are going to be the change that we are looking for. Instead of complaining about school boards and what they may or may not be doing, we are running for public office so that we know what's happening at the State Board of Education. Because when the people vote them into office, then they will be handling what's in the best interest of not only Bridgeport students, right? But as they lead by example, we all can follow suit, and you never know. Maybe one day we'll be running for Board of Education too. So I will be introducing my next guest, super rockin' mom, right? So she got stake in the game when it talks to education. Jessica Martinez from Bridgeport, Connecticut. She also has one of the moms who is running for office in the house. I don't remember her name, but Jessica will tell us who she is in a little bit. So quick note. At 9:30 today at 450 Columbus Boulevard, will be the next State Board of Education meeting. It is the first State Board of Education meeting since school has started. We need to stay alert, parents. We need to not only stay woke, but make sure we're asking questions, because we are in day 67 of the state not having, a state budget. That means school districts across the state are on skeletal budgets. We don't even know if the kids are going to have access to adequate resources. We don't know if they're going to have paraprofessionals in the classroom. We don't know if kids are going to have papers and pens. So parents, we got to step up our game to make sure that the educational rights of our children are protected. Real quickly, Article 8 means it refers to the Connecticut Constitution, and the Constitution says that every primary and secondary school must be free. But the Supreme Court said it not only free, but it must be of such a quality of standard that every child can be a productive citizen, which includes engaging in a civic process like voting. So stay woke. November 7th is elections. And let's take a quick intro with Jessica, and then we'll go to a commercial break and be right back. Welcome, Miss Jessica. I got to give you a high five.
Thank
well, congratulations. So think of this as your living room, because we're about to have girl talk, okay? And mama talk.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about who you are, and tell us who's your guest that's in the studio that they don't see, but she's here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Shayla Robinson is my partner. She is running alongside of me for the Board of Education.
Oh, nice, Shayla!
Along with Hernan Ellingworth. He's working today. I called her and she's like, let me take the ride with you. I want to check it out. So I wanted her to be here and meet people and grow. It's every day is a growing process for all of us. So a little bit about me. I'm a parent that cares, and I'm a parent that's sick and tired of our children getting the least that they deserve. They deserve the best, and they're just not necessarily forgotten. It's just a systematic thing. But just like I tell everybody, right? You can no longer blame the systems. When you know that there's a system problem, then you need to be the one that advocates to change the system.
Right. All right. All right.
So that is just who I am. I've been an advocate. Shayla's been an advocate for quite a few years. Combined, we have 28 years parent involvement.
Okay.
Hernan, me, and Shayla, 28 years parent involvement. So we've been involved. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? Some parents just don't know. Right. And once I lost my job in 2008, when the mortgage crisis and the
welcome to the recession, right?
Right, the right. You know, it was a blessing. Because I didn't know I can be in my son's classroom every single day. I didn't know my teacher needed my help. His teacher needed my help. She loved my help. And it was when I grew as a parent leader. It was when I learned what was happening in the classroom and what was needed in the classroom.
All right.
So it just sparked me up. But the biggest thing that sparked up...
So we're going to hold that thought because we're about to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. I knew it was going to be good, y'all. I knew we were going to run over. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Article 8 with Gwen Samuel. And as I said, I'm that mom on a mission, Gwen Samuel. We're going to jump back in with meeting the candidate for Bridgeport Board of Education, Jessica Martinez. And so the question that we are going to ask is, so why is the school board or parents attending school boards or being active a part of their child's educational journey? Why does it matter? It's one thing to say parents are engaged, but it's another thing for parents to pay attention to what is happening at the school board.
Again, Gwen, you know, you don't know what you don't know when you're a hardworking parent and you're working 8-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour shifts. Maybe a single parent. You don't know what you know. So when you're present at these meetings, you see and hear things firsthand. You see leadership that lacks the ability to focus on somebody other than themselves. Right? You see people with a self-interest rather than the collective interest. So as a parent, well, first of all, it's proven, data shows that when parents are involved, our children do better academically. I remember when I was sitting in my son's classroom, there would be kids flocking all over me. Mrs. Martinez, Mrs. Martinez, I wish my parent would come. And I said to them, why don't you ask them? Because I never knew I could be in the classroom. I was a corporate America mom. I wasn't, you know, an at-home mom. You know, I was working.
Welcome to the world of working class. That's what that is.
I was working. My parents took his grandparents picked him up and dropped him off, and I picked him up after work. So that was the extent. And I mean, I did report card conferences, I did trips. But it is so important because our voice matters. Every child is different. And I think that from Shayla's son to my son, I love Shayla's son like I love my son, right? And I can see the differences in them. They're both special, they're both intelligent, but they both learn differently, right?
That's right.
So we need to understand the children at large, that what they really need. And I believe the parent voice is missing.
Oh,
and so it is important for parents to be involved because your voice matters. You know your child, you know your neighbor's child, you know your child's child, your sister or brother's child, your niece or nephew. So it's good to be a part of that conversation and have a stake in the game.
Right. And that's very important because we talk about boards are designed for children, not for adult egos and not for adult agendas. And Connecticut is considered the land of steady habits. So you two or you three will be breaking some habits, right? Which is going to be huge, setting the tone as role models. Because I'm like, you're my sheroes. I'm like, I want to be like y'all when I grow up, you know. But I know I won't be running anytime soon because they'll be having contempt of court the next day, Lord. They'll be,
that is so true.
You know, so sometimes, so we're here to support you. And again, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
running. So what is it that how can we as parents, not just in Connecticut, because people from across the country will watch this segment and they will be inspired by you.
Yes.
They will be inspired by, what was her name again? I'm so sorry.
Shayla Robinson.
Shayla, right? So Shayla, we'll be inspired by you.
Yeah.
So what is it that we can do? We have one more minute before we go into the next commercial break, but if we can think about that question. If we wanted to think about public office, is there something we need to know? Is there some secret sauce, or is it just all about taking risk?
You know, it's about taking risk. It's about being involved long enough to understand that you don't have all the answers, but collectively we do. Yes. See, it's a team effort. Democracy is sometimes misused and not even really, right?
Yes,
it's a democratic world. Yeah, for some. It's really a dictation in many places because people like it to be their way or no way. But everybody's voice matters. So what you may think and what I may think can become genius work when you mesh them together.
Right.
So 2 years ago, I was asked by the previous administration, and I said, heck no, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And a lot of times you have to fail enough to grow and learn to where you really need to be. And like, I would have been arrested with you.
I know,
I would fight. I was fighting the wrong fight. I wasn't really focused because I was so hurt. I was like, why are these people fighting each other at a Board of Ed meeting? Why are they attacking me when I'm giving of my time and I'm just volunteering? What's going on here? So I started fighting fire with fire. I wasn't ready. I needed to build grit. I needed to build. But as far as everything else, you can learn. You can learn as you go, or you spend the years learning. You already know, girl. You got it in you.
Well, thank you so much. So as we prepare to go into a commercial break, so remember, today at 9:30, there will be a State Board of Education meeting. So if you still have a little time, jump in your car. I think you might be able to catch some public transportation. Come up here and let them know that parents matter and our students do too. We'll be right back.
I started skipping school at the age of 7. My mom didn't realize until she actually went to go pick up my notes. And she realized I was getting left back. After that, I started hanging out with the wrong crew. I ended up in jail 3 times. Parents, what I'm trying to say is keep on top of your kids. Make sure you call, make sure you do what you gotta do. You know, parents, school is important. It's a big deal.
Hi, welcome back to Article 8 with Gwen Samuel, and I am your host, a mom on a mission, Gwen Samuel. I was just sitting here off camera talking to Jessica about what are we losing as a result of no budget in the state of Connecticut, right? Bridgeport is ranks fourth as it relates to suspensions and expulsions from pre-K through second grade. Waterbury is number 1. New Haven's, Hartford's number 2. So we have to think about supporting our children, including our babies. Pre-K is babies, and we shouldn't be suspending babies, even though the law says as of 2015, you cannot suspend the babies. You cannot expel the babies. And yet we have thousands of children that were suspended from pre-K through second grade. We had over 1,600 preschoolers across the state of Connecticut that were suspended. Out of that, 1,100 of them were black and brown children. That is 71% of our babies who need foundational, critical years of learning suspended out of school. Tell me where is the life learning lesson there. Tell me where is the academic lesson for a 3 or 4-year-old. So we're going to jump back in with Jessica, and I was asking her, what was the impact of the no budget with the state of Connecticut? How does it impact Bridgeport so other parents can be thinking about it in their states and city as well?
Right. Well, we've already been underfunded for for decades, right? We've been underfunded. But even so, we were being cut quite a bit. So much so that I forget the actual number, what we were missing, but we've already lost math coaches, literacy coaches, all of our paraprofessionals, except for in the special education department.
And with special ed, it has to be most severe. So it's not even for those who are just, wow.
Yes. And then just most recently, they shut down our parent center. And the two liaisons, we lost homeschool coordinators last year. They were the liaisons, the connection from school to home, home to school. And they helped parents grow. And they worked with the parent advisory councils in each school, which for Title I. Now we lost the only 2 connections from home to school and school to home. And they did more in that parent center than we even knew. They did GED program. They cut the GED program out of there. Now it's only in one location. They still got adult ed, but now no longer there. They just cut everything that was going on in the pamper. They were giving diaper giveaways.
The diaper bank was cut?
Out of the parent center. I don't know if they moved it, but we've lost our parent center.
See, we have
Lisa
to look
Pavlik
at
and Dolores
this.
Mason lost their jobs with parents.
See, now we got to wonder if the state of Connecticut is violating the constitutional rights of the children, right? Because if you have a child that has an IEP, and the IEP says by law you must provide a para, then can the state or can a district really cut paras? Right? Because that becomes a legal issue.
Well, but Gwen, they're violating our baby's civil rights every single day of the week, every single year. And when CJEF lost, when we lost that CJEF case, even the judge himself stated, this is
schools are for kids. Don't forget.
Right. Like this. I mean, it is our right to be educated. You can't compare us to the suburbs. Give us the same exposure. We don't listen. Money is an issue. But I also believe the way you manage it is also an issue.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Oh,
so you can give me all the money.
We
can give you all the money in the world, but what are you doing with it? I believe that there are places doing greater things with less. Right?
Right.
We've seen it.
Yes.
Why can't we mimic models that work? Why can't we ensure, instead of getting these babies suspended, or why can't we ensure that they have what they need for their social and emotional, growth and learning?
Yes.
Because we have the Yale Center for Intelligence. We do other
all
ruler
those
programs.
Studies, every study in the book, every task force there can be.
And we have resources that we can utilize.
And leverage us as parents.
Thank you. I was about to say.
Parent leadership training.
Partner. It's about the partnership. Do they really want the partnership? I think that there's amazing people out there. There's amazing teachers. There's amazing parents. Then you got those, some parents that needs to be, you just hold them by the hands and teach them, uplift them, and help them grow. Teachers, there's some teachers who are discouraged. How about if you've been working in a system for 20 years and you're just like riding it out until you retire because you're sick and tired of the lack of resources, having to come out of your own pocket. I don't fully blame teachers, even who have lost their way. Because that means there's a greater person that never gave them what they need as a resource. Right. And so unsupported teachers are going to have unsupported children. And the one thing that really irked my nerve as a parent to find out was the prison to school pipeline. Right? When you're suspending them at 3 or 4. I didn't even know this.
Yes. And the law says they can't.
Right.
So we need to be making sure that that's on
not.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what are you bringing them? They're going to be scared of authority. They're going to be like, teach them how to grow.
That's right.
Let's not feed them to the prison pipeline.
That's right.
Let's feed them to the college pipeline if that's their direction.
Hello, let's give them a college ID versus a prison ID.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So you know what? We have to go, y'all. I knew this was going to be one of those days that Mom's going to pull out my hair. And so Jessica will be back. Just know we might do some stuff down in Bridgeport. We would like to work with all of you because they are leading by example as parent leaders. So we need to stand with them, and we need to stand with other parents and other community leaders that are taking those risks and going out on the limb to run for public office to ensure that our voice as taxpayers, as consumers, are being heard, and that school boards are student-centered, not adult egos, but student-centered. See you soon. See you at the State Board of Education meeting. Bye-bye.
So as I transition out, I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional. The reason why I'm getting it out the way now is because I will be a student with you. Because every day is a day of learning. This is a classroom. Life is a classroom. And this classroom ain't treating us too well. But I will say this, they do to us what we allow. Because you don't see suburban communities saying these same things. You better believe if a suburban mom thought you were thinking about dragging a baby, you won't have a job. And that's just thinking it. If I think you're not looking right at my baby, you're not going to have a job. But for us, they are saying we assault you, we hurt you, but you better have your baby back in our class on Monday.